In this video, let's take a look at a new feature in TPC Desktop 2025 Release 1. It's the ability to reject survey points. In this particular survey, I was out and tied record corner number 4, which is a found iron pipe, first with a float position with GNSS because I wasn't able to get enough satellites to get a fix. Before I was done at that pin though, and I recorded that as F4, before I was done I was able to get a fix on it with G4. Well, I was picking up some other points while I was out there and actually went back out another day and did some post-processing. And H4 is the post-processed position of that point. But again, I was never able to get very good satellites. And so I just put together a real quick traverse here to show you kind of what that looks like if I just check inverses real quick. So here's my point 4. I'm just under a foot away from my fixed position, and in fact I used this position to calibrate the record data to the GNSS along with some other points that were within a tenth or two. But look at my F4. It's out of position, calibrated position, by over 6 feet, and the H4 is out of calibrated position by over 12 feet. Well, I don't necessarily want to delete these points. I want to be able to keep them around in case I want to come back and use them for some reason or try to improve on them for some reason. But I do want to just get them off the map and make sure they're not included in any computations. And a real quick way to do that is by any of the traverses that use this point. I can just tell H1 that I want to come in and reject that. Here's the toolbar for it, reject survey point. And as soon as I do, I have the ability to display rejected points or not. I'm going to turn that off. I also could have just put the cursor over that another point and said under point tools, reject that. Okay. Now if I take a look at those points in the traverse views where they're at, you can see here my F4 is struck through, it's rejected, and I can take a look at the H4 also and find out that it's struck through like that. And that's because in the fonts, I now can come in and tell Traverse PC that when you see a rejected point like that, go ahead and do a strikeout. And you can also change the color of it. The default is a color of red in the strikeout. And you can see if I take a look at all of the points in this project that I've got several points in here that I've actually come in and rejected. A lot of times I'm looking for the HDOP or the GDOP, which is the kind of the global, includes the time degradation. And I'm looking for values, rough values like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where I know it's just way out of position. And I'm just pulling those out of the survey. Might be a tree I couldn't quite get or a gravel road I couldn't quite get. I'm leaving them in. They're still part of the survey, but because they're rejected, they're not going to show up in any drawings, any least squares adjustments, any surfaces, any reports. It just kind of pulls them out of the survey for now. So a real quick look at rejecting points inside of Traverse PC.